If you're in real estate, the biggest challenge isn't really finding the next deal, is it? It's finding the time for the next deal. You're juggling paperwork, scheduling, marketing, and the actual core of your job, the part you love, gets totally buried. Today, we're going to unpack a powerful way to get those hours back and unlock some serious growth.
Does this feel a little too familiar? I bet it does. You became an agent to connect with people and close deals, not to get lost in a sea of paperwork and endless social media updates. It's that classic trap, right? You get stuck working in your business instead of on it. So, how in the world do you break that cycle?
Well, the solution we're diving into today, it's backed by some seriously impressive numbers. First up, take a look at this one, 5,276. That is how many virtual assistants have been hired through this model in just the last 3 years.
And get this, those VAs, they're supporting almost 3,000 clients, agents and entrepreneurs, people just like you, who decided they needed more leverage. And when you zoom out, this whole strategy has been shared with over 70,000 people. So what's the point of all these numbers? It's simple. This isn't some new theory. It's a tested, proven system that's already out there working at a massive scale. Okay, so let's really dig into the core problem here, what we're calling the real estate overload. These are all those tasks that are constantly pulling you away from what actually grows your business, which is, of course, finding new leads and meeting with clients.
And the answer to that overload is the real estate virtual assistant, or a VA for short. But here's the key. You gotta stop thinking of them as just an admin. Think of them more like a remote partner, someone who handles all that back-end work so you can finally focus on what you do best.
So what does this virtual copilot actually do all day? Well, let's break down the huge range of tasks they can just take right off your plate. We'll split it into 3 main areas. First up, let's talk about the absolute core of your business. This is where a VA can bring some immediate, and I mean significant, value.
And just look at this list. We're not talking about just answering a few phone calls. A VA can manage all your listings on the MLS, on Zillow, you name it. They can coordinate the entire showing schedule and even liaise with lenders and title companies. They're basically owning that entire transaction timeline, making absolutely sure that nothing ever falls through the cracks.
All right, next up, your brand and how you reach people. Because let's be honest, in today's market, consistent marketing isn't just a nice little extra, it's completely non-negotiable, right?
And this is where a VA becomes your own personal marketing machine. I mean, just imagine it. Someone else is designing your flyers in Canva, writing those catchy property descriptions, editing your listing videos, and running your social media. They're building your brand for you in the background while you're out there face-to-face with clients.
And finally, let's talk about the foundation that holds this whole thing together, admin and operations. These are those critical, behind-the-scenes tasks that keep your business running like clockwork, day in and day out. Seriously, think of this as the control center for your entire business. Your VA is keeping the CRM spotless, generating CMA reports so you're always prepared for a meeting, tracking your expenses, and even reminding you about your license renewal. They are building the systems that let you operate like a well-oiled machine. Okay, so this all sounds amazing in theory, right? But how do you actually make it work in the real world? The key, and this is super important, is a structured plan for those first 90 days.
See, the path to success isn't random. It's a journey. That first month, it's all about training and shadowing. By the second month, they're taking the initiative, managing tasks on their own. And by day 90, they're not just doing tasks, they're taking full ownership and even bringing new ideas to the table. It's this deliberate process, moving from learning the ropes to really leading their part of the business.
You know what? Let's make this even more real. Let's actually visualize what a typical day looks like for your VA and, just as important, how you can measure their performance to know it's working.
A great VA's day isn't just about putting out fires. It's super structured. And you can see the flow here, right? The mornings are for that urgent, client-facing work like inquiries and scheduling. Then the afternoons shift to more proactive, business-building stuff like market analysis and marketing. And the day always wraps up with a report, giving you a crystal-clear summary of everything they got done. But how do you really know if it's all working? Simple. You measure it. With clear key performance indicators, or KPIs, you're not just guessing anymore, you're tracking actual, tangible results from the leads you generate to your client satisfaction ratings. This isn't about micromanaging, not at all. It's about having total clarity and confidence that your investment is paying off. All right, we've covered the what and the how. Let's wrap this up with the operational blueprint.
These are the essential, nuts and bolts details you need to know to actually get started.
And here's the number that really makes this whole thing click for so many people. At just $3 to $10 an hour, well, you're getting incredible leverage without that massive overhead of a traditional employee. For a lot of agents, this is the key that finally makes scaling their business feel possible.
Now, this isn't some part-time gig. This is a full-time, dedicated partnership. Your VA is sitting in a Zoom room all day, so communication is instant. You have daily check-ins to make sure you're always on the same page. There's accountability software for transparency, and the tax forms are super simple. It's a professional setup built for results from day one.
And that really brings us back to the most important question of all. After seeing how a VA can handle pretty much everything from transactions to marketing, freeing you up to focus purely on growth, just take a second and ask yourself, what could you achieve with that kind of leverage? Yeah, it's definitely something worth thinking about.
If you're ready to stop doing $10 an hour tasks and start working on those $250 an hour results, take action right now. Go ahead and scan the QR code on the screen and set up an appointment. Do a discover call, spend 20, 30 minutes finding out just how a virtual assistant could improve your business. Do it right now.